Alright, bitches, so we're on to episode 58 of Dragon Ball Super. And this episode is called Zamasu and Black, the Two's Mystery Deepens. And boy, the fuck does it. This episode is where shit starts getting fucking wonky, man. Let's get into it. Alright, so this episode opens up with Zamasu asking Zuno to tell him everything he knows about the Super Dragon Balls. So Zuno starts going into the same old spiel that he gave to Bulma, and Zamasu, creates this, energy blade and just stop. He's like, stop it. Enough of this bullshit. Tell me how to use them. And so Zuno just gets straight to the part about gathering them from Universe 6 and 7 and then using the wish. And he tells Zamas the chant that's needed and everything. Then Zamas tells him, tell me exactly where the Dragon Balls are right now. And Zuno isn't going to tell him, but Zamas basically, creates, he puts his hand right to the dude's chin and says, tell me where they are now. And Zuno says that he can't use them anyway because they were just used, and it takes a year before the Dragon Balls will be able to be used again. Then Zamas has Zuno tell him two things. One, the location of every orb, and two, everything he knows about Son Goku. So it's like, okay, this is, getting interesting. Back at the Capsule Corporation, Bulma gives Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta sensu beans, and Goku gets up and goes, okay, let's go back and give it another shot against Zamasu and Black. And Bulma is like, oh, you fucking knucklehead, you forgot the sensu beans. And then it's revealed that when they left to go fight Black, Goku actually left the sensu beans in the bathroom. So they went to go fight and they didn't even bring the damn sensu beans. Goku, that would have helped, motherfucker. And then Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks, they explain to Bulma and, young Purple Trunks that Zamasu was there helping out Black. And, Goku's like, yeah, I thought he was a nice Kai guy, but he's actually like a super asshole. And it's interesting because even though their energy, was similar, Black and Zamasu, they aren't the same person. And Vegeta also says that, Zamasu was immortal. And Goku goes, okay, well, we'll just have to get immortal too. And they're like, okay, how? He's like, we'll just eat, a gourmet of sensu beans. And it's like, Goku, come on, stop. They also mentioned too about how Black, has the ability to go Super Saiyan Rose. And it's funny because Bulma is like, what a dumb, naming convention. That's a weird taste for names. And it's like, damn, how meta is this damn show gonna get? They are, the jokes are flying fast towards stuff like that. Come on. Then we see a scene outside where Trunks tells Mai that, the future Mai was alive and how she was able to help them out so much. Then Beerus, Whis, and the Supreme Kai actually show up, and the Supreme Kai says that he has something to tell everyone. And so Goku and everyone come on in, and basically Supreme Kai says that Zuno contacted him, and that Zamasu asked him, about the Super Dragon Balls and about Goku. And so now we get into an extremely long scene where basically they talk a lot about the mysteries of what's going on. We get a quick flash of Goasu, who asks for, Zamasu to come bring out tea, but Zamasu is not there. And Goasu is like, oh, that's weird. Then Vegeta and everyone, they share all the info they had about the events that happened in the future. And Beerus wonders, why were Zamasu and Black's energies so close if they weren't, the same person? And Whis says he thinks that he's figured some things out. And so here's where things get a little wonky, but Whis basically deduces that even though Zamasu is like a fighting genius, he lost to Goku, and he was interested enough about that to ask Zuno about him. And Zamazu's looking for enough power to assert his justice. So Goku and Whis, they both kind of say it at the same time, that then Zamasu used the Super Dragon Balls to make a servant, like a copy of Goku as his servant, and that creates Goku Black. And then after a year, then Zamasu, makes another wish from the Super Dragon Balls to make him immortal. And with Zamazu's immortal body and Goku Black's, crazy power, that's how they were able to, go on this rampage in the future. But, they do point out something interesting of how was Zamasu patient enough to wait an entire year, but of course, because of the time ring, he would have been able to, travel all over the place, collect the Dragon Balls, travel a year in the future, and yada yada. Beerus talks about how only official Kaioshins, can use the time rings, and Zamazu's only an apprentice. Kaioshins, of course, being the supreme Kais. So then they think that Goasu is going to be in danger then, and that what's going to happen is present-day Zamasu is probably going to kill present-day Goasu, get the time ring, and then they theorize that it might even be the present-time Zamasu who could have been in the future jumping all over the place. Now, this is also where things start to get super confusing, though, because, okay, it's already been explained, this is why time travel is a bad idea to have in your fiction, but it was already explained that, if you travel into the past and change things, that doesn't change the world that you originally were in. There are, multiple split timelines. It's not one whole timeline. So this theory right here, this can't be the truth, because this whole premise that we stated, this is based upon the fact that Goku fought Zamasu, which we saw, and then that intrigued Zamasu enough to use the Super Dragon Balls to make a copy of Goku. But why was Goku Black and Zamasu in the future of Trunks' world? That doesn't make sense, because in that world, Goku was dead. Now, I remember when Goasu was talking about the time rings and all that shit, there was the green time rings. Now, if those are capable of traveling between all of the different timelines, I guess that would make sense. Now, there's supposedly, I believe, 4 separate timelines people have deduced during the events of the Cell Saga. There's, I guess, Timeline A, which is the original one, which I believe Timeline A is the one that Cell is from. Then there's a Timeline B, in which the androids were beaten by, all of the Z fighters, and that's the one that Trunks had gone to the first time. Then there's Timeline C, which is the one where all the, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, all that takes place. And then there's Timeline D being the one that the Trunks we know right now, future Trunks, is from, and that's the one with Goku Black, and that's the one from the History of Trunks movie. Now, those 4 separate timelines, those are the amount of the 4 green, time rings that were present, right? So I guess, here's the thing. So Goku and Zamasu fight, and then Zamasu, uses the Super Dragon Balls to, get his servant, Goku Black. Then he uses the time ring to go a year into the future, and he gets his wish for immortality, and he decides to make his plan of a humanless universe in Trunks' alternate timeline. That's the part that doesn't make sense. Something is really not off here. I really hope Dragon Ball Super did not, fuck up. I hope they didn't fuck up here, because right now it looks like they might be on a path towards, dumb plot holes and bullshit. It can't be that, Zamasu used the Dragon Balls and created Goku Black after fighting with Goku, that fight that we saw. If that's what happens, that's dumb. But that also doesn't explain all the stuff Goku Black has been talking about, where he's referring to himself as a god and stuff. If he was just created from the Dragon Balls as a servant for Zamasu, he wouldn't have been talking down to Vegeta like that, where he's like, you're just a human. Well, if if Goku Black is just a perfect copy of Goku, then that makes him a fucking human too. So I think this is just a theory Whis is throwing out here, but I don't think this is actually the truth of what's going on. It can't be, because there's so many things Goku Black has talked about. Why would Goku Black recognize Vegeta? And why would he want to kill Goku? How would Goku Black know who Beerus is? I guess that's all because he's just a copy of Goku, right down to having his memories? But that wouldn't make any sense, because why would he then be evil? Like, I am very curious to see how, like, this is all wrapped up and addressed. Now, the other thing I did notice, too, that is relevant to this talk is that, so, Zamasu has the 2 orange Potara earrings, right? But those are trash. That just means he's a Supreme Kai apprentice. Now, Goasu has the 2 green Potara earrings. Future Zamasu and Goku Black, in the future, while they were fighting Trunks and Goku, I looked, and they both had 1 on their left ear. Zamasu only had 1, and Goku Black also only had 1, both on their left ear, mimicking that scene we saw from before. So, that, to me, does kind of possibly give some, possibility to Whis' theory there. Because, clearly that's the set of Potara earrings from Goasu. Although it doesn't make sense why they were attacking Earth in Trunks' timeline, especially if Zamasu is from Universe 10. Like, there's just, like, how the fuck did he end up in Trunks' world? Like, just very bizarre. Then after that, Whis, Beerus, Supreme Kai, and Goku decide to head to Universe 10 and go protect Goasu, because they think Zamasu is probably going to kill him, get, the green Potara earrings, get the time rings, and put all of this in motion. Although, if they would kill Zamasu, I feel like that would stop him from going to the future. Wow, man, time travel gets ridiculous. Then we see a shot of the future. Future Yajirobe and future Mai head back to the Resistance, where the Resistance is starting to lose hope after learning that Goku and Vegeta lost, and they kind of worry, what's gonna happen, and future Mai tries to reassure them. Then it cuts to Universe 10, where we see Beerus, Whis, Supreme Kai, and Goku arrive, and they ask where Zamasu is, and Goasu tells him that Zamasu hasn't been there, he's been absent all morning. And Goku begins to say, oh, well, Zamazu's causing problems in the future, but Beerus smacks the shit out of him, and he asks Goasu if there's been anything odd about Zamazu's behavior, and Goasu basically explains that, well, Zamasu has had, all of these problems with justice and all of this bullshit, his doubts about, everything that's going on, what a god's place should be, good and evil, all of that nonsense. Goasu says that, his answers to all of Zamazu's questions have, cleared his doubts and cleared his mind. And so, he struggled for a long time with it, but now all of that is done, and he's, pure heart. And then right after that, we see the doors behind Goasu open, and Zamasu comes out and declares that he has the tea for Goasu. And the episode ends there. In the preview for the next episode, we see a lot of fucking around with Goasu and Zamasu. It looks like they're Goku, Beerus, and Whis are trying to catch Goasu get killed by Zamasu. And then I guess they might plan on using Whis' rewind time ability to then, reverse his death and then take down Zamasu. So it looks like that's what's going to happen next time.